What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the women's Air Jordan 4 Retro in this vivid sulfur colorway. So this is a brand new colorway of the Air Jordan 4 which released in women's sizing, and they dropped back on April 6th for a retail price of $210 or $270 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is white, vivid sulfur, anthracite, and coconut milk, and this takes the color blocking style of the Fire Red 4, but it changes it up a bit by replacing the iconic red with this vivid sulfur or yellow color instead. So even though these dropped a few weeks ago, my men's size equivalent was still sitting on the Nike Canada website, so I decided to pick these up just to check them out and see how they were in real life. First things first though, here's a quick look at the packaging. So this comes in a white based cardboard box with these metallic gold accents. We have the Jumpman flight branding on the very top, along with a splatter print on the very bottom. As far as the shoe goes, so jumping right into it, the majority of the upper is crafted using a smooth white colored leather. So this white leather covers the toe box, and to the touch I was pretty disappointed with the material quality. Even though it is a legitimate real leather, there's this heavy coating on the very top which takes away the leather grains and the natural imperfections of the leather. So the same leather covers the front toe cap, and then on the bottom three eyelets we have the signature Air Jordan 4 lace crown. This is constructed out of a vivid sulfur colored TPU. In between this we have this white colored netting with this anthracite mesh layer underneath, and then the top three eyelets are once again covered in this yellow colored lace crown, and it's attached to the side wing or flap. Some people might think it's black, but in real life this is much more of a dark gray. Underneath this we have more of that smooth white colored leather, and this covers the top portion of the ankle collar area as well. And then on the heel of the sneaker we have this large heel tab which is done in this dark gray color, and it's contrasted with this yellow colored Jumpman. For the laces, this pair only comes with one lace option, and they're a flat style white colored lace. Underneath this, just like any other Air Jordan 4, we have this netting which is done in white, and underneath this we have this dark gray colored mesh. And then on the very top of the tongue, this is covered in a synthetic white colored leather, and then we have this rectangular patch with Jumpman flight branding. On the back of the tongue, just like any other Air Jordan 4, we have this Air Jordan branding which is stitched on in this upside down fashion. And then the back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this fluffy yellow colored liner, and this inner collar is decently padded, not overly stuffed, but it's not thin whatsoever. As far as the insoles go, so these come with a polyurethane foam insole. It's covered in this yellow colored finish on top, and we have a Jumpman logo pressed onto the heel. The upper of the Air Jordan 4 sits atop of this polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted in this dark gray finish on the top and this vintage looking cream color on the bottom. We have encapsulated Nike Air on the forefoot which is invisible, and we have this window on the heel exposing the air unit that's found within the midsole itself. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, so this is your classic Air Jordan 4 outsole, and in this case it's constructed out of a mix of yellow, cream, and dark gray colored rubber. We have this herringbone style traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, and then in the middle of the outsole we have a yellow colored Jumpman. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And because this is technically a women's shoe, in order to get your men's size equivalent, you'd go up 1.5 sizes. So for me, because I normally wear a men's size 10, I got these in a size women's 11.5. And trying them on, the length of the shoe is perfectly fine, but I did find that the width of the shoe ran a little bit more narrow, so I could feel a little bit of that chafing or discomfort around the pinky toe area of the shoe. So if you have a really wide foot or even a slightly wide foot, this probably won't be the best shoe for you, and if you really need to get this shoe, then go up half a size. But if you have a narrow or even a normal width foot, I feel like going with your true size should be okay. So for example, if you're normally a men's size 8.5, you get these in a women's 10. If you're normally a men's size 10.5, then you get a women's 12. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Air Jordan 4, which unfortunately isn't that comfortable on foot. It's going to be okay for just a shoe that you wear sparingly, but I wouldn't want to wear these for long hours within a day, just because the underfoot feeling is pretty firm, pretty stiff, and the fit of the shoe, like I mentioned earlier, it was a little bit more narrow, which caused me discomfort around the toe box area of the sneaker. But if you're someone that finds Jordan 4s to be extremely comfortable, then these will probably be fine for you, but for sure there's better options out there if you're looking for a comfortable retro sneaker. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality, I was pretty disappointed with this. Even though they do use genuine leather for the most part on this shoe, Like I mentioned earlier, there's this heavy coating on top of it, so it gives the shoe more of a stiffer feel. And yes, it's a very clean, very perfected white colored leather, but I'd rather have more of a natural leather that shows more of those imperfections if it meant that we're not getting this stiff coating on top, which really takes away from the feel of the leather itself. And from a build and craftsmanship standpoint, there were some things that kind of bothered me as well. So while the stitch job on the shoe was on point, the paint job on the midsole, it honestly wasn't the best. It seemed a little bit sloppy in some areas. And my biggest issue, of course, was the warping or the rippling of this netting on the tongue. So this is kind of a hit or miss when it comes to Jordan Brand and Air Jordan 4s. I've experienced this many times before with past colorways, so it seems to be kind of like the luck of the draw. And unfortunately for the pair that I got, the netting on my tongue had a bit of that wavy look to it, which I don't know about you guys, but it really bugs me once I notice it. So if you couldn't tell by now, this shoe wasn't the best when it comes to quality and build, and it's unfortunate because it's a colorway that I really wanted to like. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, from a colorway perspective, I thought this was a very clean, very spring and summer ready pair. However, like I've been mentioning earlier, everything from the material quality to the build of the shoe and even the fit being a little bit too narrow for me, this left me very disappointed, as it honestly would have been a pair that I would have liked to have in my collection. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Vivid Sulfur Air Jordan 4? For anyone that picked these up, what are your thoughts on the quality? Am I just way off base? Did I just get a really bad pair? Leave your thoughts down below and let's talk about it. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow me on X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Appreciate the continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.